I once worked for a company and my boss was a narcissist. And for me, it was extremely difficult. I constantly felt like I was walking on eggshells. I felt like I had to shrink myself. I had to overwork myself, never say no in order to be recognized. And because I was building a career at the time, people will call it climbing the corporate ladder, I tolerated things like verbal abuse, shame, control, and even manipulation. And the worst part for me was the behavior when confronted. It was often just scolded with a slap on the wrist. And at the time, I was young, I was naive, I was afraid, and very non-confrontational. And because I was already conditioned on how to respond to narcissistic behavior, this only made me shrink myself more. I was conditioned to stay quiet, don't ask questions, just comply, do your work, put your head down, and keep moving. And as a Christian, you're often told to continue to pray for the situation, continue to pray for them. A narcissistic person never likes to be challenged, questioned, confronted, and they hate being exposed. And this is why they often target easygoing, passive, empathetic, hardworking people, and especially people who are always seeking validation. Trusting God in the workplace takes a deeper level of faith, because sometimes opening your mouth may feel risky. You'll start to wonder, am I going to lose my job? How will they retaliate? How is this going to backfire on me? And maybe they won't give me the raise I worked so hard for. And as I once experienced all these things, during this time, God taught me how to handle the situation. The first thing I did was pray about it. I gave those people right back to God. God sees how people treat you, and God is just. The Lord will fight for you. You need to only be still. And sometimes wisdom looks like silence. Now, this doesn't mean you need to continue to comply, overwork, over-explain. It means to move in silence. And as I experienced this, I noticed and I got to witness how God was fighting my battles. The second thing I did was to pray and ask God to lead me into these conversations using wisdom, authority, and courage. Because there's power in respectful conversations. And sometimes we don't have these conversations because we are afraid of how the other person is going to respond. And in these moments, the Holy Spirit will flow and give you the exact words you need to say in order to keep the peace. And the last thing, continue to move in integrity. Do your work in excellence. Trusting God will either move you or He will move them. Proverbs 16:3 says, "Commit your ways to the Lord, and your plans will be established." There were many moments where I could have gotten revenge. I could have exposed them, or I could have fought back in the flesh. But instead, I continued to trust God, and God made me courageous and bold in the process. And the best part of this was, I always got to witness how God moved on my behalf. I learned how to stand up for myself without losing the peace. So confrontation doesn't need to be loud, pompous, and colorful. Sometimes confrontation is using wisdom, soft and gentle words, but speaking with authority and setting boundaries that are non-negotiable. Follow for more, Her Truth in Christ.